literally, it took a day to like press it back out again. You get back and you're not done yet. The painting is not done, right? You know, we set them up out on the ledge and everybody goes, ooh, ah, because the painters get it. You know, they go, oh man, you know, that was like really hard and the wind was blowing and there was sunburn and they get it. I'm like, well, we're not even done. We gotta clean all of the crap. You know, now now you've got all the oil, the stuff, the turpenoid, and and all, and everybody's, and all of this churning is going on, and then it was like, where's the fucking wine? Where's my wine? I've had this horrible day. I thought this was supposed to be fun. People are joking, Oh my God. So the next morning, everybody, there is a point to this. Everybody's like, well, they're all cheery again, and Jerry says, oh, well, you're going to come paint with us today? I said, not on your life. So the whole crew schlepped out all of their crap because they've got more crap than we do. If you can absolutely imagine that. I went up to Kmart, and for $29.95, I bought my first Polaroid camera, and I said, and I bought a slew of film. I'm just going to play today because those poor bastards are out there beating themselves to a pulp.
And they paid to go.
And they paid for this. Yeah, I mean, this is just mind-boggling to me, and they're not even done. They've looked at this goddamn scene for 5 hours and they're not done. What is up with that? I could have shot 5 rolls of film by now and had 100 pictures to choose from. And I don't even have one that's finished. The beauty of the story is I learned how to see. So if you think you understand photography, you take a drawing course, you take a painting course, because they will force you to look at the same goddamn thing for 5 hours, and you will learn that this is a lot more difficult than what you thought. You went click, and you went on to the next picture, and you went click, and you didn't spend 5 hours at this one, and you didn't spend 5 hours at this one, It's a lot more complicated than what you might think, right? So the next day, I've got my little piece of crap Polaroid camera. I got some packs of film. I bought a little tote bag that looked like a basket, for lunch. And I had a straw hat now so that I wasn't going to burn my ears to a crisp. And I walked around town. And I said, I'm just gonna groove around. I'm gonna take some pictures that fit into a square, because that's what we were talking about. And let me just show you what the film looks like. This kind of a story. So I walked around town, and you can pass these around, but I need to get them back because these are my negatives, basically. And I started shooting with the Polaroid. And I had a crochet hook, I had a little clipboard, and cool. These are mostly the 600 film, because I wasn't really locked into the SX70 at first, which was kind of a mistake. I was having fun with this, so I didn't even move to the other film. But eventually I moved into the SX70 film. So this is 600 film. It shoots out of the front of a $30 camera, and you take a crochet hook and you rub on the picture as it's developing, and things start changing. The chemistry starts moving, and you start creating something that looks somewhat like an impressionist kind of a painting. So I did maybe about 30 of these. I came back home you know, it's now lunchtime. Okay, make my little sandwich. And I laid these out, and I had some pens that I would go into them with to change. Maybe there was a highlight that was too bright that I smushed, you know, so because that's a technical.
No, that's another word, smush.
Smushing glossary.
You know, it was pretty cool. So I smushed, you know, something maybe the wrong way, so I could now color it in with a pencil, with a Q-tip, kind of a Sharpie type pen, and mush it around with a Q-tip to color, you know, certain areas that I wanted to be maybe darker or a different tone. And then I took them all out on the back stoop here, and I sprayed them all with an acrylic to lock in the color, because it's such a slippery surface, you know. And I thought, well, I want to lock in that whatever I'm doing with this stuff. And while I was at Kmart, I bought a little photo album, and I thought, because I need something to kind of store these things in. So I narrowed down the field, and I picked 25 that I really liked, and there were some obvious coloration things that I had done, because beyond the white border, the color went, you know, out into the white. So you could see that I had colored something, I had done something. So I put all of these in the little album, and I poured myself a glass of wine, and I put my feet up, and I waited for them to drag their bodies back into the room, which is exactly how I felt the day before. So I knew, you know, now I have an appreciation for how this all works. So they're like schlepping all of this junk back into the room, and they've got this like one little thing that's not done. Right? Like, oh God, you know, they spent the entire day, and they have one little, you know, 8 by 10 thing that's not done. But I get it now. You know, I understand how complicated this is. I so appreciate what painters do. It, you know, it isn't even funny. So I said, oh, you know, can I pour you some wine? You know, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, you know. So I had all the wines going, you know, and they're not done yet, because they're, you know, still in there twirling and, you know, cleaning brushes and doing all the stuff. They finally come out, they collapse into the chairs, and it's here, it's happening here. And I said, anybody want to see what, you know, because here's where I can go. I can play the blonde thing now. Anybody want to see what I did today? You know, and they, you know, oh, okay, you know. Oh, okay. You know, because I, you know, I plied them with the wine. I knew, you know, I had to do this. Well, I passed my little book around. They freaked out. They thought that I had done 25 little paintings.
Wow.
Because they were so blurry-eyed between the wine and the wind and the sun and the whole 9 yards. You know, they're like, oh my God, look what she did, look what she did. I said, well, yeah, it was a Polaroid camera. You know, so that's how it all began. But it first started with this lady
and actually,
sitting over here.
I put the cards for the gallery. I did find.
Oh, good.
And so you could see the large ones.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm sure Nancy has some wonderful ones.
Well,
but
what
I have them on
what
my
I
website.